Here is what I need you to know. It is the voice of God that directs, that instructs. It ain't man. I don't understand how men can tell other people how to follow God. It's mind-boggling. How somebody gonna tell you how you need to follow God is beyond me. Why do you think you can tell anybody what they can and cannot do as they follow Christ is a situation? What do you need to tell people to do? Follow God. You see, because it's God's voice you need to be seeking and you need to be following, period. Some people be having the nerve to tell you, as a woman, as a man, you supposed to do this, you not supposed to do that. What I'm going to tell you is, did God say it? Then do it. Baby, you better do what God tells you to do. Did God tell you to go out and do a thing? Because at the end of the day, when you don't follow God, you don't have peace. You don't have rest. It's you that's not going to have peace and not going to have rest. Disobeying God, being in rebellion to God, being in defiance to God. See, that's where the peace is at. That's where the rest is at. That's where the grace is at. That's where the favor is at. It ain't in listening and following man. It ain't in doing what Samantha say do. It ain't doing what your mom, what your husband, what your wife say, what your child say. That's in direct opposition to God. Let me tell you something. As a woman, your husband need to be under God. He need to be under Christ. So that way, whatever he's telling you to do, it's in alignment with what Christ wants you to do. If he ever asks you to do something that's outside of the will of God, that's outside of the will of Christ, what you think take priority? What you think take precedence? You need to pray over that thing and ask the Lord to give you strategy in that. And make sure you're hearing from the voice of God and do what God is telling you to do. Yeah. Christ had to tell Peter, get thee behind me, Satan. You got the things of man on your mind, not the things of God. Peter like, oh, no, I would never deny you. No, no, no. He like, okay. Matter of fact, you gonna deny me 3 times. You better watch out for these people that are like, oh, I love you so much. I want the best for you. Okay. All right. I'm going to still not put you above Christ. I'm still not putting you above God. I'm still going to do what God tells me to do. You see, I got to have a relationship with God first. People think they could tell you what to do. Oh, you listening to the voice of God. You see, that's the only thing that matters, is the voice of God. It's the only thing that matters. It's the only thing you need to be listening to. It's his voice. Can't nobody tell you how to walk out this Christian walk. You see, can't nobody tell you how to be a Christian but Christ. Christ, your identity ain't hidden in the church. Your identity ain't hidden in your pastor. Your identity ain't hidden in other people. Your identity ain't hidden in your husband, your wife. Your identity is hidden in Christ Jesus. You need to seek Jesus out for that. You need to seek Jesus out for that. Your purpose. your destiny, your future, your assignment. How you gonna know what that is? How you gonna find that out? How you gonna figure that out? By seeking God, by listening to God, by hearing his voice and following the voice of God. That's how you take up your cross and follow him. How dare people say you not hearing from God? How dare people question what it is that you're doing in the efforts of following God? You see, you don't know what God will have you do. That very same person that's telling you not hearing from God or questioning whether you are hearing from God, or that's talking behind your back and is like, yeah, that person's crazy. That's the same person that God may have you go tell some real truth to and go wake up. See, some people are given too much control over the other people. You watching videos, you watching people that letting people have access to you and your thoughts, letting people have access to you and your soul and drive it and shift the trajectory of your life. How so? People be trying to have too much power and be trying to tell you, now you can't do that, you can't do this, you're not supposed to do that, you're not supposed to do this, not my God. The only question people need to be asking you is, did God tell you to do it? Then you might want to get to it. God tell you to leave? You better pack your stuff. Get your desk together. Get your bags together. Did God tell you to stay? You better be still and know God is God. Did God tell you to go out there and say some heavy stuff? You better go say it. You better get your lips moving. You better be more concerned with what happens if you don't do what God tells you to do. See, you got to trust that God will lead you. Once when you get into this word and you know that God is the one that orders your steps, not man, that you're supposed to follow God, that my sheep know my voice and a stranger they will not follow, that God has a expected end for you. He got a hope. He got a future for you. God's interested in the details of your life. When you hear all of that, when you hear that you're supposed to give your body over as a living sacrifice, that you're supposed to deny yourself, die to yourself, crucify yourself, become a new creature in Christ, all these things, when you put it together, it's like, wow, I really need to seek Jesus. I need to seek the Lord because I need to know what the plan is. I need to know what the steps are. I need to know what I'm supposed to do. I need to know where I'm going because I'm supposed to follow him. Then you go after God with everything that you have. And I don't care how long it takes. Those that seek him diligently, he rewards. I'm desperate. I'm hungry to hear your voice, to hear your instruction, to find out who I am, what I'm supposed to be doing, who I'm supposed to be in community with, who I'm supposed to be in relationship with. See, some of y'all desperately going after man, following after man, when it should be you desperately going after God. Don't you let no man's voice top God's voice. Be priority over God's voice. You giving man the authority that Christ has. Anybody you speak to, if they out of alignment with what God is telling you to do, put them back in their proper place. That's it.